International Women's Day and Women's History Month have historically been moments that bring people together. The celebration of this month has never intended to be a partisan exercise. Women's History Month demonstrates exactly that. In 1981, Republican Senator Orrin Hatch and Democrat Representative Barbara Mikulski came together to sponsor the congressional resolution creating National Women's History Week. President Ronald Reagan then signed the proclamation in 1982 and continued to recognize it during his presidency. A few years later, in 1987, Congress again acted in a bipartisan manner to expand that recognition into the entire month of March. That law was signed again by President Reagan. From the very beginning, the celebration of women's history has been something Americans approached together. Republicans and Democrats alike recognize that honoring the achievements of women was something bigger than politics. Every year, this resolution has been bipartisan. That is why many of us on my side of the aisle are disappointed to see how this resolution was brought forward. At no point were Republican women approached to sponsor this resolution. At no point were we asked for our input. At no point did any of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle approach the Republican women serving in this chamber to have a conversation about how to properly honor the brave women who has formed our state. If the goal was truly, as you stated in your resolution, to exemplify extraordinary courage and resilience by breaking barriers and leaving legacies that continue to inspire generations of women around the world, and working tirelessly to ensure that doors opened by the women who came before us remain open for the next generation of women leaders, thinkers, and change makers, then why was none of the incredible experience and leadership sitting right here within this caucus even considered in that conversation? Representative Bradfield spent over 2 decades as a teacher after supporting her family through 22 years of military service around the world. Representative Flanell is a small business owner. Representative Johnson has served as an EMT and dedicated her life to Colorado's rural communities. Rep. Kelty served our country for 21 years in the Navy. Rep. Garcia Sander has dedicated her career to supporting the next generation through her service as a teacher and principal. And Representative Luck has lived abroad and brings a global perspective and deep appreciation for the things we have honored to have here in America. And I have dedicated my career to orthopedics and treating vestibular disorder and concussions at my physical therapy clinic. Not to mention that many of us in this caucus are also mothers. That matters. Being a mother gives you a front row seat to the challenges families face every single day. It gives you a deep understanding of what it means to raise children, protect them, guide them, and prepare them to our future. These are just a few examples of the women who serve this caucus and bring real-life experience to the work that we do here today. And this is why it is so frustrating that a resolution meant to celebrate women was drafted without even inviting our voices into the conversation. But beyond that, this resolution is fraught with language that intends to divide women across the state. Women's history should not be about advancing a partisan narrative. It should be about recognizing the women who helped build Colorado and expand opportunities for those who came after them. As I was reading through the resolution, I noticed several women who were honored through the resolution, and while I recognize the sponsor's intent to honor women who served in the legislature, I am disappointed that we didn't see a few names of women who truly fought the fight for what Women's History Month was created to honor. For example, women like Clara Cressingham, who in 1884 became one of the first 3 women elected to the Colorado House of Representatives, and the first woman to hold a leadership position in this legislature. Carrie Clyde Hawley, elected alongside her that same year, who became the first woman in Colorado to draft legislation that was successfully passed into law. And Eliza Pickrell Rout, one of Colorado's first ladies, who played a critical role in advancing women's suffrage, became the first woman to register to vote in Colorado, and later served on the State Board of Agriculture. These women represent what Women's History Month is truly about. They fought for opportunity and opened doors for our state, and they did it in ways that united people and expanded participation in our democracy. That is a legacy worth honoring. The women who shaped our history should never be a time for partisan talking points. Women's History Month should recognize, respect, and show gratitude for the many ways that women have contributed to the state. This resolution does not do that, and that's why I will be a no. Thank you.